Hi, my name's Gemma McDonald. I'm a member of the SSG Training and Consultancy team. Today I'm going to give you a Toolbox talk on risk assessments and safe systems of work. A risk assessment is a legal requirement. We define it as a careful examination of anything in the workplace that has the potential to cause injury or ill health. It's a line management function to ensure that risk assessments are completed. However, you may be asked for your input for the simple fact you're the people that do the job on a daily basis. So you have the ability to recognise hazards that they may not consider. You often also come up with solutions, practical controls that allow the job to be carried out in a safe way. Risk assessments shouldn't be thought of as just another piece of paper. It's not about generating endless paperwork. Think instead of them as a process of identifying sensible measures to control workplace risks, protecting you and others from harm. We commonly use the HSE's recognised 5-step approach. Step 1, identify the hazards. A good starting point here is to walk around your workplace and think about the activities, the processes, the substances and the work equipment in use. Don't forget to take into account non-routine operations and the potential for long-term ill health. Step 2, decide who may be harmed. It's important that you consider everyone in that environment, including those not directly involved with the work activity, people like the public or visitors. You also need to consider contractors, temporary workers, and those with specific requirements, new or expectant mothers and young persons. Step 3, evaluate the risks and decide on precautions. Here we look at what the likelihood of the hazard causing harm is, along with the worst potential consequences. Look at what existing controls are in place and what additional controls could be introduced to lower the risk levels further. You're not expected to eliminate all risks. What you must do is recognise the main risks and put in place controls to manage them responsibly. Step 4, record your findings. Information recorded should include all hazards, who's at risk, and the control measures in place. Details such as the date, the activity being assessed, the location, and the assessor's details are also important. Step 5, review your findings. If you believe the risk assessment is no longer valid, or if there's been significant change, it would need a review. Few workplaces stay the same. Processes change and companies invest in new equipment. So it's important that risk assessments reflect these changes. As a general guide, they should be done on an annual basis. A safe system of work may support a risk assessment. It's a formalised, documented and defined method of working, providing information to employees on how work should be done and the precautions that should be taken. They describe sequentially how a work activity should be carried out in a safe manner that allows the job to be properly planned and resourced. They're particularly helpful for things like the use of forklift trucks or the use of chemicals, or they may be developed for more complex activities such as demolition. Ensure that you have access to and read both risk assessments and safe systems of work applicable to the work activities you undertake. Ask your line manager or supervisor to show you and talk through risk assessments and safe systems of work, and ensure you always work to their requirements. If a risk assessment or safe system of work doesn't reflect what you're going to be doing, stop and ask your supervisor to check that an up-to-date assessment is in place. Flag up any work activities that don't have a risk assessment or safe system of work. And finally, ensure that both documents are updated as jobs progress to ensure that all foreseeable hazards are controlled throughout the task.